Okay, this video, we're going to talk about adding and subtracting fractions. I did include a mixed number here for additional practice. We're going to use the four square strategy that we practiced back when we were learning this skill, and I did want to review quickly some keywords, terms, or concepts that make us think about addition when we're reading a word problem. So if we read the words combine, total, sum, and, which also means combine, and all together, that signals addition. So this problem says Gregory read his book for 3/4 of an hour and Diego worked on his homework for 1 2/3 hour. How long did the boys work on schoolwork combined? So I read that word combined. I know that we talked about that when we were reviewing key terms. So we know that this problem is addition. We are combining the two times that Gregory and Diego worked. So step 1 in our 4-box method says write it vertically and convert if we need to. So I know Diego worked 1 2/3 hours and Gregory worked 3/4 hours. Now we're not solving in this box, we're just writing vertically and converting if necessary. So we do need to convert here. We have 1 2/3, so we want to make that an improper fraction before we start working. To do that, we're going to use the MAD strategy. We're going to multiply the denominator by the whole number, so 3 times 1, and then add the numerator. So 3 times 1 plus 2 is 5, and the denominator we know stays the same, so we have 5/3. Now we're going to bring over our 3/4 because we haven't found our common denominator yet. So now the problem says 5/3 plus 3/4. The next step says find a common denominator by listing the lowest common multiples. So we have 3 and 4 as our denominators. Let me circle that so you know where those numbers came from. 3 and 4. So multiples are kind of like skip counting is what you probably called it back when you were in lower grades. So to list those or skip count by threes or list the multiples, we'd say 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times 5 is 15. Only go out 5 terms at a time, and then look to see if you find something in common. So same thing here, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12. Oh, and I can stop right there because I heard 12 in both lists for 3 and 4. 12 is going to become the common denominator now. So now I need to rewrite the problem and then solve. So we had 5/3 plus 3/4. I'm actually going to change this here. Let me get my pointer. We're going to solve and simplify in the same box, I think. Nope, never mind. I'm going to keep it the same. All right, let's rewrite here. Now we're going to find find how many times larger we're making this fraction by finding equivalent fractions. So here I need to ask myself, how many times larger how many times larger did I have to make the 4 to get 12? And the answer is 3 times larger. 4 times 3 is 12. So we need to do the same thing to the numerator. 3 times 3 is 9. Here I had to make the 3 4 times bigger to get 12. So that means I'm going to also need to make my numerator 4 times bigger. So last I'm going to solve, and I'm kind of out of room here, but I can go ahead and write it off to the side. We're going to add the numerators. 20 plus 9, I can do that one mentally, is 29. And the denominator is 12. I'm going to bring my answer over here to simplify, and simplify is going to, oops, let me back that up. Simplify is going to be 2 steps here. is going to be 2 steps here because we are going to need to convert and then simplify. So first thing I need to do to convert 29/12, because that is an improper fraction, is to divide. So I'm going to say 29 divided by 12. How many groups of 12 can I make with 29? The answer is 2 groups, but not equally, because 2 groups of 12 has the value of 24. And this is just basic division, guys, that you're used to. So 29 take away 24 gives me a remainder of 5, but 5 is not a remainder when we're working with parts. Instead, it becomes the numerator. So we have 5 parts left over out of 12 parts, which would make another whole. So 29/12 has the same value as 2 whole and 5 out of 12. I'm going to circle this right now so you can tell where the answer is. And then I'm going to go through my simplifying steps. So I'm going to ask myself, can I divide both the numerator and denominator by 2, 3, 5, or 7? Looking at this, I cannot divide the numerator by 2, so that one's out. I cannot divide the numerator by 3, so that one's out. I can divide the numerator by 5, but not the denominator, so that one's out. And I can't divide either of them by 7. So that means 2 and 5/12 is our answer here. Let's go over and see if it makes sense. So if Gregory read his book for 3/4 of an hour, that's almost an hour, and Diego did homework for 1 2/3 hours, is it reasonable that combined they worked on their stuff 2 and 5/12? So that's almost 2 1/2 hours. And the answer is yes.